So today we're going to be going over how to set up your Blue Alpha med pouch. The setup is going to be basically the exact same until the very end, depending on which variation of the med pouch you got. So when you first get it, there's going to be a couple things. You're going to have two cards. The one with the little tabs here is going to be the one that actually goes into the 4 corresponding slots on your insert here. You're also going to have some shot cord, so that way you can just kind of, you know how it is, you put the little shot cord through, tie a knot, and kind of set it up the way you want. So once this one gets attached in, if you're only going to use one, you have it kind of set up just like this. So the main curved card is already tabbed into the back here, and I have just everything set up on this one version. Now, we do give you two, and that is because if you want to set it up like this, I call it a little ice cream sandwich, to where when you open it up, everything is shown to you. This is a little more compartmentalized to everything that's up here works together, and kind of everything down here works together. So up here, I have my emergency trauma dressing, compressed gauze, and my hemostatic agent. So if I can't tourniquet the wound, this is what I'm going to use for it. And then down here are my chest seals, MPA, and gloves. So this is just a little cleaner if you're going to open it up and you want it that way. This way saves a little bit more space. And so I honestly kind of prefer this way, even though this is still very nice here. All right, so if you are an astute viewer, you have noticed we have not talked about the tourniquet yet. And so with that, the med pouch, as you see it, was not designed to carry the tourniquet inside of it here. Now, we do have the MOLLE slots on the outside. So if you want to, or if you already have a Blue Alpha tourniquet holder, you can just MOLLE this directly on. And what's really nice about this version with the top pull is that when you go and you deploy your medical pouch, everything is going to come with it. So when you pull this handle, all of your contents, your tourniquet, everything's coming with it. It is slightly different with the side pull because this insert actually goes into something else. We couldn't get the tourniquet holder to mount with it. So with the side pull, when you deploy that one, the tourniquet is going to remain on the actual carrier of this insert. So with all of this, if you're looking for, okay, what is the most compact way I can carry everything that you have here? Because there is what appears to be a decent amount of stuff. I would recommend going this way. One, you're losing this extra curve back here, which, like I said, it's not quite as organized, but to me, I'm prioritizing space rather than the organization aspect of it. So it's still tabbed in, and I have everything set up here, and I just kind of stacked it all up. Now, what I believe is probably the biggest space saver of this, so as the emergency trauma dressing, as it comes from North American, is a pretty chunky little boy here. So what I have been doing is I went and got a vacuum sealer from like a little food saver bag, and I take out my emergency trauma dressing, and I just kind of put it in a S fold, and I use the width of the curve backer as, you know, how far I need to go back and forth. And I've just been vacuum sealing these in here, and then I cut little tabs for it. If that's something that you're interested in or want to take on that, you know, you are opening up the manufacturer's bag and putting it into something else. So, you know, decide if that is a worry or risk or something that you want to do. To me, it's completely, you know, safe. I'm not doing it with dirty hands or, you know, anything like that, or blood on my hands already. But just the space savings that I gain from repackaging this is monumental to me. It is really almost a different pouch by just deleting this giant chunky boy into something that's thinner than a Pop-Tart. And so yeah, that's just kind of my biggest tip for space savings. And that's what I have right here. You can actually see the emergency trauma dressing just laying flat. But this contents right here is the exact same as this one. We have the exact same contents. I've just repackaged them slightly into a smaller, you know, little setup here. Okay, so once you have everything set up, we're gonna go ahead and package it into the little taco pouch here. So we're gonna fold everything up. We're gonna use these arms to pin everything down, make it nice and tight. And then all you're gonna do is get it to this point right here. And then you're just gonna slide everything in to the pouch. Now there is Velcro on the back to help prevent this from sliding out, so you'll just have to make sure that's seated all the way down. You shouldn't see any Velcro. And then from there, going to fold it up, and now it's in its nice little package. Same thing would go with this one. You cross the arms first, bring it up, and then from here, I like to run mine upside down. And as you can see, it is considerably easier to install here. And then that's how I just run mine on this belt right here. That's it for the top or bottom pole. Now let's go ahead and get to the side pole. Up until this point, everything's basically been identical, but we are going to change a couple things. So we went ahead and we took out our insert. And so what you're going to have, even though I've already installed it, you're going to have these two handles here. And so I have one already installed. So before you put in your curve inserts to lock in here, what you're going to do is you're just going to take your handle here, and there's going to be two slots, one on each side. And what I like to do is put the cleaner stitch, or the stitch that the fold is kind of showing on, that's the cleaner side of this. I like to put that on whichever way I'm going to be expecting the handles to be faced. So you'll see here in a second, I like to actually kind of turn this around while it's in the side pole. But all you're going to do is just insert the handle in and then just pull it through. And so the handles are what we call Super Squadron. It is just a double layer laminated squadron. So it's just squadron twice, basically. So once you have the handles in, then you're going to go ahead and reinsert your tabs. And then from there, you're going to fold it all up just like you would beforehand. So put the arms around it. And then you're going to go ahead and just enclose the whole thing. Now, for the side pole, the shock cord that's on this, one of the pieces of shock cord you get in the kit is going to be a considerable length longer than the others. That's the one that's meant for this right here. And so this is basically the exact same design we have on the stock sock. So it's just folded over, and you're just going to shoelace this thing down. If you've noticed here, we have a piece of squadron here on the inside that is blocking and covering this shock cord. So the shock cord is not going to impede you to be able to pull out this med pouch, because you basically have just a liner in there protecting the med pouch from the shock cord, so you should not have any binding of that sort. So the way I like to actually put in the med pouch is backwards. So this would be front. I like to put it in this way, and that's only because, so once you'll see it when we have it mounted, but that puts the handles further away from my back. So pretend that my hand here is the belt. The handles are now further away, and if they were together, it is a little more low profile, but now I'm gonna have to try and fish for those handles if I'm trying to deploy the med pouch, where this way they are out and they're separated. All I have to do is come back, find the belt, and then yank on the handle. And then for the side pole outer carrier, this is where I was saying that you're gonna have to mount the tourniquet holder to it. So as you can see, you mount the tourniquet holder to it. These things are separate. That is, just kind of the nature of the game here when we have the side pole version. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna insert the med pouch, try and open this up as much as you can. And then I'm gonna go ahead, slide it in here. There is no Velcro or anything like that on the inside of this med pouch. It is just friction that holds it in. So if you think you're gonna do the side pull, it's definitely better to kind of fill out your medical pouch here, but it can tighten down quite a bit. And then all you're gonna have to do is just kind of play with how the med pouch is inserted to get this to line up correctly. So from there, looks like we got it about where we want. And then you'll have the appropriate cord lock. All you're gonna do is put the cord lock in first. Go ahead and tie a little knot. That's just to keep the cord lock on. And then you'll have two tabs right here on the cord lock that you're gonna depress to actually engage the lock. And then from there, there's your side pull. So then we have the belt pass-through, which I don't know if we went over on the taco side. We have the belt pass-through you can use, and you can also use the MOLLE. And if you're really about it and you want as much security as you possibly can, you theoretically can still pass your belt through and MOLLE this together on at the same time. But from there, it's on. Then all you have to do is grab the handles, and it just deploys. So obviously that will be much easier when it's on the belt. But then from there, there's your med pouch. Hey guys, so one more thing. Because these pouches are interchangeable, if for some reason you have the side pull and you want to go to a top or bottom pull option now, we will have those options available to where you can just purchase the thing that is needed. So if you have a side pull and you want to go to a top pull, this is all you have to purchase. Now, when you have your handles in, it's going to show you how to remove the handles. All you're going to do is just take the handle on the back and just rip it straight out. So that's it. The handles come out, and then from there, you would just reinsert your med pouch, all your contents, slide it in, and now you have the top, bottom, whichever kind of orientation you want. Hey guys, this is on me. Totally forgot to bring this part, but there is a piece I have not talked about because I forgot to bring it, but I'm gonna explain it to you real quick. All it is just a piece of 1-inch elastic with a little backer. And all that's going to do is fit between any of these slots right here. I typically choose this one. And that's just to store some kind of Sharpie or NCD sized object. Like I said, I forgot it, so I don't have one here for the install video. I know we are professionals, as you can see, but that's what that's there for. You'll see it more in reels, but just kind of wanted to explain it to you. All you're gonna do is pass it from the back. The 1-inch elastic will come out. If it's a Sharpie, you're gonna pass the Sharpie through, and then you're gonna take this and pin it in like you normally would. So I would highly recommend using the tabbed one to put that object in there, so that way it can be sandwiched in between the curve and the squadron of the insert. For the contents, there's gonna be a couple different options. You can just avoid the contents completely, like you already have all the medical that you want and you don't need to buy anything from us, fantastic. If you are buying the actual pre-made med pouches, there's gonna be 2 versions, one with a tourniquet and one without a tourniquet. If you already have 4, 5, 6 tourniquets and you don't need any more and you want to save some money, get the version without a tourniquet. If you're just now getting into this or you think you could use an extra tourniquet, buy the one with the tourniquet in it. If you guys have any questions or comments or want to see all the colors that we have available, we do have 10 colors now. Australian multicam is now a stocked color that we will have until we just run out of that supply. Head over to bluealphabelts.com now, drop a comment. Thank you guys for watching.